In the red, the Season 2 champion representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, he is Rogue. And his opponent in the bottom right, the Season 1 and Season 3 champion for the Afrika Freaks. And give it up for TY. Yeah, oh, well, you get to see it twice. Yeah, there has been a serious lack of, honestly, Zergs are just not being as successful as they once were. If we look in the GSL right now, what do they have? They are, I think, they're roughly equally represented, which is kind of a downturn. But, they're, I mean, I don't want to say anything without checking the stats because I don't want to, you know, get myself into trouble. Yeah, so there are 5 Zergs, of which, you know, some are already out. Well, one of which is already out in the first group. But yeah, no, with the advent of the double Stargate meta and all of that, Protoss players have been doing pretty good for themselves. They've been doing very well indeed, especially against Zerg. The matchup that was, I was told at one point, was unwinnable. I actually have not caught all of those games yet. I just had them spoiled because people were talking about TY. Anyway. Yeah, what is this build from TY? Where is his... Okay, so Barracks is at the front, which means he has no main wall and he has no natural wall. And Rogue went for an early pool. I'm sorry, I was talking to chat too much to pay attention to what was actually happening in the game. I don't know if I would go so far as to say TY has instantly lost, but it's not looking good. All right, there is definitely some execution here that TY can do to make sure things happen, and he does have the wall on up now, so if this had been a 12 pool, TY absolutely would be dead, but now there's a full wall, and this actually has a lot of HP in this wall, so the Zerglings are going to struggle to get on through. Now, of course, the factory is going to be delayed here, and we will see that Rogue is doing what he can to try to maybe kill off the factory, but with one Marine behind, actually, yeah, TY is going to be totally fine. As we have some things just fly off. Not exactly, I don't think I've ever seen that one before. We just have a bunch of little parts fly off the factory. And now they're going to try to get something done. And they will get that SCV once again on this factory on 94% completion. But okay, there we go. It's going to finish on up now. As Rogue getting on into his third base behind this, he's doing something a little bit, well, I'm not going to say standard, but he's getting into a macro play behind this. This is not going to be multiple levels of an all-in. As now the wall's open, so... TY? What you doing? Okay, yeah, he will actually have enough here. Nice play then. I will lose one Marine, but he will knock down all of the Zerglings on the map, and therefore reclaim some semblance of map control. Now, it's not perfect, but it is something indeed. And look at this behind. We have a double starport on the way. Now, this could be a couple things. This could be double starport Banshee. That is a thing that actually TY used to do back in Heart of the Swarm. Of course, we don't really see that build all that often anymore, but there we go. That was going to say, that the more likely option is it's going to be 2-port battlecruiser, which is exactly what TY is going for in this game. But, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guys, gals, non-binary pals, we have a Roach Warren halfway done here for Rogue. He's sitting here around 38 workers, and we just see a bunch of Zerglings on the way. This is looking to me like Rogue has an inkling that TY is going to do something a little bit dirty. So we're going to see a Roach attack come on in from the Dragon Phoenix Gaming Zerg player, and that's not going to look all that great for poor TY. He went for a cool... he's going for a cool build. It's a very cool build indeed, but as a wise man once said, a wise man... Well, actually, we're going to have to see whether he decides to let some Banshees finish. But no, he's not even going to start the Banshees. He's going to be straight into Battlecruiser. But a wise man once said that if your opponent is doing something weird, just go kill him. That is exactly what Rogue is going to attempt to do here. Now, of course, if TY can get all of his Battlecruisers out, if he can do all of that... Oh, man, Zergling almost delayed the factory from going down for a second. Anyway, if TY can get 2 Battlecruisers out, sure, he's going to be able to hold this. Here's the trick, though. These Roaches are going to be coming in a lot faster than these 2 Battlecruisers do come out, because Battlecruisers take a damn long time to build. Yeah, I suppose it is. Yeah, because on that build, right, didn't Mario got heinously supply blocked, I think? I saw that game. I don't remember exactly how it went. But anyway, there we go. Yamato Cannon on the way. And, you know, the first battlecruiser will be popping out right around the time these roaches reach the main, reach the natural. And there is a fairly beefy wall here, right? Yeah, there's some supply depots, but, I mean, the factory, the barracks, they are beefy boys indeed. So we will see these biles go down. Actually not even targeting it quite properly. But no, it doesn't really matter. The biles are going to be enough here. The roaches are going to be enough. Zerglings and roaches are going to come streaming on in. And yes, the battlecruiser can eventually clean this up, sure. But really the question is at what cost? How much damage will TY take before he cleans all of this up? And it will be double battlecruiser. Actually, the biles will land, but that TY says, you know, I don't really care. I'm not going to lose 2 biles hitting my battlecruisers. I'm going to lose 2 Zerglings killing everything else. So these biles will do some damage to these battlecruisers, which does make it a little bit more difficult for them to get something done later on, as we just more Zerglings. Just doing so much here. 30 workers have died. And yeah, sure, Hellions are out, and Hellions are good against Zerglings, but only to some extent here, as the biles continue to hit all of these battlecruisers. Ravagers doing what they can as well. Now, well, 32 workers have died, 43 workers to 11. And behind this, Rogue, he's just building more and more queens. He's just building more and more drones, more spores, all of these things that are noble pursuits and necessary to sustain Zerg life. And actually, we will see the fusion core start to burn on down here. Now, whether TY is prepared to defend that or repair that, not really sure, as we will, of course, have 3 battlecruisers. They're going to teleport on in, and this is TY's opportunity, right? This is one of those things where you're like, okay, well, I just took a lot of damage, but if my opponent doesn't have enough anti-air, well, that's going to be a problem. Now, TY did cancel Yamato to try to bring all this in, and I feel like that was kind of a mistake. I mean, you knew you were going to lose almost all your workers anyway, so not having Yamato is actually going to hurt you here as you try to knock down spores to make sure that you can make things happen. So now, of course, we have the battlecruisers. They're going to run on top of these spores. The queens are all dead, by the way, so that is something. And we will see the battlecruisers. 1 battlecruiser will go down, but that's going to be just about it here. And now Rogue's in a bit of trouble. Right, he has lost 14 workers, and now these spores that Rogue is continuously creating are rather nice. Queens as well, so I think we're kind of in a game of attrition here, where yes, TY's getting a lot done. Oh, I love this. He's going to drop mules to repair all of these battlecruisers in the middle of the fight. That's going to be pretty cool. But yes, TY has a lot, and it is difficult for Rogue to deal with, but these battlecruisers will eventually take a lot of damage. TY will eventually run out of money, especially if he's dropping mules. But no, it's going to be that. Rogue says, look, I'm not going to ever be able to make enough here. GG, this battlecruiser snowball happened. TY takes game number 1. So, really cool build there from TY. I did feel like Rogue had what he needed maybe, but of course, actually, I think it was that mule play, really, that won TY that game. Because he didn't have, you know, 1 orange and 2 red battlecruisers. He had a couple green battlecruisers, and he had just enough money that he needed to make those repairs, and just there were not enough queens out. I think Rogue started with 7, but you need more than 7 to deal with 2 or 3 battlecruisers, more to deal with 3 battlecruisers, even with your spores. And when that happens, well, sad days indeed. But anyways, poor TY insta-lost. Well, TY did not insta-lose that game. So, that's what we got there. But anyways, we have our game loaded on it. It's game number 2 now. It will be on Pillars of Gold. Of course, TY has that 1-0 lead, but you knew that. You just watched the game 1. Let's get into it. Here we are, spawning the bottom right. The upper right in the red, of course, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, falling to a bunch of cattle bruisers. Space cows. He is Rogue. And his opponent in the bottom left in the blue, of course, representing the Afrika Freaks. The caster turned player, the player turned caster. He does both of them well. Give it up for TY. as we have something a little bit more standard coming on in here in our game number 2. We're not going to see a wall at the natural. No, we're going to see buildings in the main base. We're going to see a wall in the main base here of TY as he endeavors. He strives to clean this up in a clean 2-0 victory. Of course, we do have Rogue here looking for any sort of barracks. This is something we see Zergs do more and more often with these weird Overlord scouting paths. I mean, traditionally, you send one Overlord out, look off to the side a little bit, then we'd go back, go across the map. And the second one, of course, would go off to another spot, and then check your natural for a little bit for a bunker, and then go across. So that's kind of what that second bunker is, or second Overlord is doing, but of course, it's a rather weird path for it to take. But of course, this is just one of those things where these players play each other so much, these players practice against each other so much, these players scout each other so much that it's not all that weird. They're going to notice, oh, TY kind of builds his bunker, his proxy is in this position, so I'm going to check there first. It's actually kind of fun. One of the, what I think is one of the most interesting things when you're trying to watch a bunch of replays and learn from Zerg players in particular is what you do is you just really look at their scouting patterns and frequencies. So Cyril, for example, always has something in his opponent's base like every 30 seconds. Now, his opponent can do a really good job denying that, and then maybe he doesn't, but Cyril's at the very least attempting to do that. And even then, he can kind of glean something from what his opponent is not showing. So, you know, when you see a top-tier player like that, just the amount of scouting that they can get versus one of us plebeians is absolutely insane. TY almost got that creep tumor, but thinking the calculus there was you kill the creep tumor, but you lose the Reaper, and I don't know if that was exactly worth it. TY is saying no, not really. So he will not prevent the spread of creep, but on the flip side, he will keep that Reaper alive to pair with any hellions that he decides to make later on. I don't believe he has any hellions actually. No, he doesn't. Is this a 2-on-1? I mean, nope, no, it's just 3 CC build, and Hellion's only just getting started. I guess it's not all that late. But anyway, Hellion's just getting started on it now. And Rogue... Okay, never mind. That was just a Reaper cancel. But anyway, Rogue, he's in a pretty good spot here. He has 36 workers. He has his 4th base just about done. He's got a creep spreading there. He was not delayed early on with that creep spread. And, well, now we're just going to see how he can withstand what we can only assume to be eventual pressure from the 2-time GSL champion last year. Now, we saw what he could do with a bunch of battle cruisers, even after he lost just about everything in game number 1. And, well, we're going to have to see what he can do with a more standard kind of Reaper Hellion setup. I don't expect him to get much done, maybe, say, 5 workers at a maximum. But, of course, this is TY. And while he may not have the best micro in the world, he absolutely does have some of the best game sense. But one of the best abilities to just find where he can get some damage done, where he can drag his opponent apart and do something there. There we go. We will see one drone go down, and we can see a spore cancel. So already some damage done for the blue Terran player. And we go on. So, of course, those of you that are just joining us, this is the round of 16 of the Pink Trip Pylon. Now, of course, we are broadcasting this from replay. So, but anyway, to get here, Rogue did 2-0 Haas, and TY did 2-0 Ender. Haas, of course, was the invite from... Who's he the invite from? The invite from Pig, and, well, Ender qualified through the OSC invited players. Parting invited him, or we're not talking about parting. TY was invited by Into the Clan, and Rogue was also. So this is a fight of the Into the Clan invites at this point. Now, if you want some more TY Rogue and Beyond action, I believe. Yeah, that was Rogue and Beyond. We did. It's on the YouTube now. We did cast the seeding matches for our invites for Into the Clan and Alpha X together. So the ITAX seeding. We took the 4 most interesting, probably arguably 4 best players out of our 8, and then we went and we said, oh yes, play 2 best of play play best of 5 against each other, best of 7. Bracketed tournament. The players that get top 2 will have marginally better seeding. So if you're interested in that, that is on the Alpha X YouTube channel. Because there's tons of content on the Alpha X YouTube channel. Let's be real here. Now back to this game, of course, Rogue, he has been untouched at this point. These Banshees have gotten not a lot. We have seen 4 workers go down in its total entirety here, and that's, again, not a whole hell of a lot. So Rogue, he's on 68 workers. He's getting up to 70 as soon as he wants. Now, he will build a little bit of army here and there to make sure that he is safe, but he's absolutely going to get onto that nice 77 drone count rather quickly. As the Spire is halfway done, Baneling Speed is on the way, and we don't have Evo Chambers just yet. Rogue going to delay those to an extreme extent. But again, this is not uncommon. There we go, Evo Chambers on the way. This is not uncommon when we're looking at any sort of Spire first setup. It's very rare to see upgrades into Spire, unless your Cero kind of does that. But most players, they will cut the corners a little bit. They'll try to get those Spire units, those mutas out as quick as possible to make sure that they can get their damage done. And they're not banking damage or banking minerals as the Terran push comes out. So Rogue, of course, he is banking minerals, but we're gonna banking really gas, banking resources. We're gonna have to see how much that happens, and realistically, whether Rogue just opts to give up the space, it's not. I mean, obviously you don't want to, as that mutas are on the way out, and mutas will do a really good job of helping to defend this pushes. Now this is just gonna be a massive run by. Rogue says, "Oh, you know what? You're gonna try to push me. That's fine, dude. Go ahead. I'm gonna wipe out your entire natural or your entire third base mineral line." So this is gonna be the trade of a mineral line for a base. As to how many workers went down. We lost. TY lost 12 workers, but this is a powerful push. This is a couple tanks. This is Hellbats. There are like no Banelings. Actually, are there? Yeah, there is literally 0 Banelings on the map. 9 are now on the way, but they're only just about now getting started here. So this actually is getting a bit problematic. This third base of Rogue is starting to. I'm starting to wonder whether it's going to go down here. As now the mutas are here, sure, and they should be able to knock down these tanks. Actually, no. It looks like with the Marine rally, no, the tanks are going to be able to stay alive. And now Rogue is very much in danger of becoming a 3-base Terran. Now, of course, I mean, TY did lose a lot from that counterattack, but I cannot help but wonder whether Rogue maybe just overcommitted a little bit too much. Said, oh, well, you know what, I'm going to go across the map. I'm going to give you that base because I'm going to knock down all your mining on your third, but, I mean, Rogue lost 10 workers too. We have the army here of trying to come streaming on in. Of course, 2-2 has not yet been started, by the way, so, or 1-1 has not yet been started. Also 2-2, but that does mean that this is going to be 1-1 versus 0-0 bio coming out, and yes, one of the tanks will go on down, but one tank is still alive, and TY still has a massive army. All right, now we have the the Mutilating Bane kind of streaming on in here. TY is going to have to look to split off creep, and the splits are going to be good, but they're not going to be great, as some of the bio does stay alive, to be sure, but not enough to really take this fight. Although maybe with the rally, he'll be able to come on in and knock some of these queens down. Certainly he's getting value. Certainly he's getting damage. Certainly he has traded far better than Rogue has. But Rogue still is safely on 4 bases. Rogue, however, the big deal is only on 57 workers, and it looks like this is going to be enough. Rogue should be able to clean up at this point with enough Zerglings, with enough mutas. So TY kind of realizing this will start his 2-2 as well, not really fully leaning on into this push. And it should be noted, by the way, that this is only a 5 barracks push. We don't see 8 racks here. This is not all in from TY. I would like to see him start his 3rd base sooner rather, or excuse me, his 4th base sooner rather than later, but it's not all in for the Terran player. No, he will, oh wow, that's surprising. No missile turrets yet, so these mutas should be able to get a decent amount of work done. Alright, so now we have TY. He's going to posture out here on the map. And this is just Rogue looking to buy some time. Now, TY very easily could have had a 2-2 versus 0-0 advantage, but this is an advantage that he opted not to pounce upon. And now it's just always going to be about 1 upgrade lead. TY is going to have 2-2, and his opponent's going to have 1-1. Rogue will have a minor timing where he has roughly equal upgrades compared to his opponent. And I assume that's the timing he's looking for, where he's going to look to take a really big fight. With the mutas, with the Zerglings, with the Banelings. Because his army deficit is not all that high, somehow, despite him being on 58 workers for the last couple minutes. But of course now with TY sieging away at Rogue's 4th base once again, Rogue has to be very careful. He's going to have to take the fight sooner rather than later. And this is going to be it. Rogue now going to come streaming on into everything. Baneling's all clumped up on one side, but the tanks, they're not going to get the connections that they need. And, well, TY is going to split really well. But the question is whether it is enough. With more and more waves of Banelings coming on in here, TY not really able to get what he wants here, especially with the Zerglings coming on from behind. The army of TY will be forced back. Actually going to find a tank here as well. Nice one tap on top of all those Banelings. So the tank will survive. Well, we'll get some value, but not a ton. And now this counterattack from Rogue will find, well, it's actually not going to find the building orbital. If it wants to do that, it will have to kill it off. But we'll find the 4th base here of TY that it has been started. More importantly, that the command center has been completed, even if he doesn't know, even if the base is not on position yet. So that's going to give him good information, good quality information about where he stands in this game. Alright, so once again, these meters are going to look to dive on in here, but with a Thor and a missile, well, you know what? He's just going to target the missile turret down really quickly, and some nice magic boxing will look to knock this Thor down, and there we go. Even with the mass repair, the Thor will go on down here, and that is going to be some fantastic damage there from Rogue. He's gotten so much damage done to the mining here of TY in this game, knocking down a grand total of 25 SCVs, which honestly I thought it was a little bit more, but he's done a really good job of keeping TY from having this dynamite, disgusting Terran economy that sometimes you see, where it's like 80 workers and mules, and Terran's just mining ludicrous amounts. But that's not this game. Now, TY's got +3 attack on the way. There we go. +3 armor is now on the way as well. But Rogue also seems to have forgotten his +2 attacks. So this is going to be a problem as the mutas, once again, they will dive on in here. And man, how important these mutas are. I'd love to see maybe +1 air attacks. But no, TY is not allowing Rogue the time for that, right? That is the big deal here. TY is just not allowing Rogue to continue to, well, to build what he wants, right? It's very limited. It's sure, he's 75 workers now. It's on 4 bases, but once again he loses that 5th, and this is just a lot of pressure on the Terran player at this point, or excuse me, on the Zerg player at this point. But now the mutas, they're kind of starting to spiral out of control a little bit, and Rogue has realized just how powerful they are in, what was that Thor doing in this game? So we do see A, more mutas on the way. B, we see +1 flyer attacks. So Rogue choosing to invest in that +1 flyer, even maybe to the detriment of his +2 attack, because he understands just how valuable that upgrade will be in a game like this. That's so scrappy, that's so hectic, that's so all over the map. Oh man, actually I really love this from Rogue. Getting Burrow is so cool in the late game. It A, provides you so much vision should you opt to use it like that. But also, it gives you, well, it gives you Baneling Widow Mines. It allows you to delay command centers. It allows you to burrow harassment to make sure that they don't get taken down by the initial cleanup. All of these things. It's honestly one of the most undervalued upgrades in the game. I will, or at least in my opinion, because it just gives you so much more much more fluidity within which you can play the game. Mailing run by is not going to get a whole lot done there, I don't believe. So it appears that game heart is just not turned on for this game, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I don't think that got a ton. It did get some Banelings, or it did get some Widow Mines, excuse me, and it did knock down a couple SCVs, but that run by is not the tail of the tape. The consistently effective run by is absolutely the tail of this game, though, is TY, he will have a 3 upgrade lead for quite a bit here. And that's going to be a problem. Now, I don't know whether it's a problem that Rogue cannot solve, but it certainly will be a problem indeed here. Now, Rogue's going to come spilling on in once again, trying to do what he can. Because, yeah, he's down upgrades, but he is absolutely up in supply of them. Again, notice that is workers, so now we're going to have the mutas. They're going to dive on in here, clean up the rest of the things. The bio will die, and Rogue is going to buy himself a little bit of time for the moment. Importantly, he's going to buy himself a 50 supply lead, 25 of which is in army. Alright, so Rogue, not content to sit on his laurels here, we'll get on up into tech a little bit further. There we go, plus 3 Carapace on the way. Cracklings, plus 2 attacks, still not done. But he's going to find the 4th base, and the Mutas are just going to sit on top of this 4th base, knock down so many more SCVs. And that means, realistically, that as long as Rogue holds, he's going to be totally fine. He's going to win. He's going to be in a really good spot to win this game. Because TY just won't have an economy. And as we just watched the SCV count go down and down and down and down, well, it's getting a little bit scary here for our blue Terran player. He's going to try to break this base, sure, but even if he breaks the base, I'm not convinced that it really matters, as we will have the Banelings. That's not a good position. They just filter on in here, and TY can target them down. That one-of-mine shot's going to be nice, of course, but got to look at the greater state of the game. The Mutas are going to target down starports, because, of course, they want no Liberators to show up on the map here to make sure that the, Ultras are as powerful as possible. That and, say, knocking down the armory, so Widow Mines are now visible regardless. All of these different things that Rogue is doing right now, his target acquisition is really powerful. Actually, are these Mutas going to get this base? The Mutas are probably going to get that base, actually. So, TY, he's got this last-ditch push, and he's trying to make it work. But there's just not enough here, as the Banelings will go on forward here. Nice Widow Mine shot. Will not connect. And there's just not a lot here. Now, I love this. This missile turret's pretty cool. It's a cool idea. But it's just not going to be enough. And GG Rogue is going to take game number 2, evening up the series. And now both players fighting for their lives to move on to the round of 8. Hi, Daddy Chowder. I believe there's a command. Is the caster command set up? Yeah, it's me. Hi, I'm BeoMulf. Welcome. Glad you enjoy what I'm doing. Glad you enjoy what I'm doing here. My name is BeoMulf. I actually cast on my lonesome as well, so if you like what I'm doing, follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/BeoMulf. But more importantly, because I do stuff here, oh shoot, I forgot. Let me fix something 1 sec. They're gonna video broadcast. I forgot to turn off autofocus. No, I did. Okay, why does that out of focus? That's good enough. Okay, here we are. I do stuff on my own twitch.tv/BeoMulf, but I do stuff on here, on the Alpha X Africa channel, on Trovo, I do the Corporate Esports Association broadcast every Saturday with Steadfast, 3 to 6 p.m. CEA_SC2. So it's a bunch of different places. Follow me on Twitter. The Twitter's in chat right now. Follow me on that. Click that link. I try to tweet when, where, how, why I go live, although I forget to do the CEA the last couple weeks apparently, because that happens. But you know what also happens? Is I need to log back into battle.net is what happens, because I need to get on into our 3rd game in this series. Of course, this is from replays, and we got a new patch. We have the IEM 2021 champion profile, if you want to use that, and we have 3 new maps. Submarine, it's finally gone. Death Aura is finally gone. Friends, Romans, countrymen, StarCraft players, all of the above. Wait, what are... What was the 3rd one that was removed? Submarine, Death Aura, and Pillars of Gold are all gone. We have new maps, friends. That is the greatest news that I saw that happened. I think that was announced yesterday. The greatest news indeed. So now we're just sitting here, getting on into our 3rd game in this series. Now, of course, for those of you watching, a little bit of information. After this, we're going to do Joun versus Beyond, and that's going to be the last of the Pink Drip Pylon uncasted games that we're going to be covering today. We might do more later. Not sure. But after that, we're going to do Beyond versus Stats from the Elimina League number 223. And after that, we're going to do a best of 2 from the World Team League. That is, of course, going to be Beyond versus Time. Kaitsa Gaming versus Shopify. And that's actually the third game in that series from week 2, or in that, in that series. It's a series of best of 2s from week number 2. That has happened rather recently, and honestly, I love the World Team League. I'm going to be planning on covering it. Today's Wednesday. I'm going to be covering it Friday morning, 7 a.m. We're going to be, I forget what matchups those are. I can tell you actually. That is going to be, I want to say it's Invictus, IG versus Envy. And then Team Liquid versus Alpha X in the marquee matchup. So we're going to be doing that. It's going to be a lot of fun in just about 2 days. So make sure to tune in on that, of course, on this channel. But what was I doing? That's right. I was getting the game set on up. And ready to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, StarCraft fans of all ages, game number 3. Let's go. Here we are, spawning in the upper left. In the red, taking a marathon game number 2 on Pillars of Gold for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, the GSL Season 2 champion. He is Rogue. And his opponent, in the bottom right, in the blue, he is, of course, representing the Afrika Freaks. The man who dominated the GSL last year. He is TY. And yes, hello, dude 215B. I am, in fact, BeoMulf. The portmanteau of my actual name, and Beowulf, that my sophomore English teacher, when he was talking about Beowulf, and he answered a question of mine, he said, yes, Mr. BeoMulf, instead of who I actually am. And I'm like, that sounds like a really good esports name. So I made my StarCraft account that. Was it the best idea? I don't really know, but it did give me some really awesome branding. I will say that. I got if you see that when we're out of game, I'll make sure to point it out again. But there's some, that kind of spinning crest and that Celtic knot. That is actually, well, not the Celtic knots around it, but the crest in the middle with the two, the wolf head and the dragon head and the 3 acorns and whatever. That is actually my logo. It's was done by Sun Lily. Shout out to her. Yeah. Yes, follow, yep, my name is on Twitter. Yes, Philip Mulford, BeoMulf. So it's from my last name. Anyway. Where was I going with that? Yeah, I lost my train of thought because I got distracted looking at chat. That's how that goes. Of course, Rogue here. He took a long game number 2. It was a good one. He absolutely kind of dominated the game from the get-go when TY's push really didn't get as much as he would have liked. I mean, yeah, he knocked out that base, but he lost his entire 3rd mineral line. And in doing so, well, he, well, Rogue already had his 4th base on the way, so it wasn't like Rogue lost 300 minerals worth of a base, but that was about it. Anyway, it does look like TY is going for the build we saw him, or we saw in game number 1. Yeah, okay, it was a bit ago. Yeah, in game number 1 here, where it is the double starport, double battlecruiser build. As of course, we do see the barracks and the factory in that wall. Now, of course, we're gonna have to see whether that's worthwhile, right? Rogue almost beat it in game number 1. It's nice when I'm by myself, when I'm not, you know, on an Alpha X channel. I don't get quite as much viewership because I'm newer to the scene, right? Well, yes and no. I used to cast a lot 5 years ago. I did stuff for the Ascendant Star League, whatever. But 5 years ago, and then I took a break for I kind of stopped because I went off to Maine and worked in Maine for a summer, and I came back and like playing StarCraft just felt really bad because, well, it just felt really bad because, you know, you lose 3 months of muscle memory, and it just, I know what I'm supposed to, but I can't. So I kind of stopped playing for 5 years, stopped casting, and then with COVID, I came back. I'm like, I love this game. Let me get back into playing it. Let me get good enough so I can cast again, and I did. So I've only been doing this for the last 12 months at this point. Yes, the wall is susceptible to a Roach Ravager all in, and this is actually not going to be the double starport play. This is pretty cool. So TY wanted to make it look like it was. Now, of course, Rogue, he got Overlord speed, and he said, okay, I see it, but you got to 1-on-1, whatever. Now, this is Marauders. Do we don't have concussive shell, do we? So we have Marauder. Oh, okay, so this is going to be a concussive shell Hellbat timing. That's what this is. Okay, that makes sense. Now, unfortunately for TY, all of this has been scouted on out. So there we go. Concussive shells are on the way. And these Hellions are already starting to get a little bit of good damage here. Now, Rogue will not see whether the Tech Lab is spinning. So that's going to be a little bit of a benefit here. But we should see a Tech Lab get thrown down. Oh. Stim is on the way. TY, you dirty devil. This is so cool. So TY is faking the all-in. Right, he has made everything look like he is doing some sort of fancy Hellbat Marauder timing. But we notice there's no armory here. Right? There's no concussive shells. Stim is the upgrade that is being researched. So we're going to see TY move across the map with a paltry drips and drabs of units and try to convince Rogue that he is all-inning to all hell, and Rogue needs to be very afraid indeed. And it looks like he has succeeded. 16 Zerglings are on the way. The Queens are moving out to the front. But that's not what this is. This is just your standard 1-1-1 into an expand build. Yeah, it makes the third base a little bit late. Yes, compared to, say, a barracks into a third base, which we occasionally see. And then you get the third base right around 2 minutes, like 1:52 minutes. Maybe as late as 2:15. But for a 1-1-1, which of course gives you a little bit faster stim, a little bit faster medevacs, things like that. That's not exactly, this is totally perfectly timed here, as we do have our additional barracks getting added on in to take advantage of the eventual third base economy. And TY, he's gotten away with this. Now, whether he's going to win this game, that's a different question indeed, but it looks like for the moment that he was able to convince Rogue that, yeah, he was going aggressive. So we see Rogue, he's on 60 work, he's not on 66 at this point. NLMGM. These games are from replay. So these, this series that we're doing right now, and the next one we're going to do, and the previous one we did, are all from the Pink Drip Pylon uncasted games. Absolutely, as Dude 215p says. Oh, so what that means is we cast a lot of games from that when it happened live the last Saturday morning. I actually had Steadfast co-casting with that on this stream and on his. But, I mean, there were 32 players in this tournament, lots of great games. Not all of them were casted by us, so we're going back and taking some of the ones that we heard were good or were just not casted by anyone, and we're covering them. So we're going to do Beyond versus Joe next, and I don't believe that one was covered at all. And of course, after that, we're going to do some games from the Olympic League and some game and a best of 2 series from the World Team League, Beyond versus Time. As now, TY is trying to get a little bit of aggressive here. It's only a double drop, and there is plenty of Zerg here on the map. Plenty of Zerg here on the map, indeed, to make sure that TY is not going to get a ton done. Now, how many barracks does he have? It looks like it's 5. There we go. This is not 8 racks, at least not yet. And, well, interestingly enough here, in game number 2, we did see TY had a fantastic upgrade lead. Honestly, could have had a bigger one, but didn't really get those started in time. In this game, though, yes, it's a muta play, but because of the build that TY opted to go for, his upgrades are going to be roughly timed out with the Zerg player. Yes, he's going to have a somewhat of a window where he's going to have upgrades, but it's going to be like 5 seconds. It's going to be like 10 seconds, right? Maybe 20. But it's not going to be the, you know, minute that we might occasionally see when these styles do collide. Oh, nice connection. Oh, well, there we go. Bailey connections are going to be absolutely fantastic there. Rogue will just knock down the entire army of TY, get on top of everything, and that is going to be it. GG, Rogue. He's going to take the series, move on to the next round.